Hey, I'm Charlie Collins and I'm here chatting with Milky. I think I've evolved as a person, therefore I think the art has followed in that direction. I've done a lot of self-discovery, self-work, and I think that's kind of the way I've been writing has been an expression of what I've been going through. So therefore it's kind of just following with my emotions, I guess. Again, I went through a lot last year and I don't know, I'm such a writer that I cannot make up a story. So I write about everything I feel. It's like so literally, it's confronting for myself sometimes when I look back. So the theme, I guess, is just kind of all the struggles I went through, but also like then the redemption of coming through the other side of those struggles, getting the help I needed. And so, it's kind of, it's in summary, it's this kind of little timeline of my life wrapped up in a record. I think there's no way around it. Because for me, and I'm sure a lot of artists, it's like my therapy. I keep things so down here, and the only way I can truly get it out is either with therapy or writing music. And so, you know what though, like there is a part of me that it's still scary to be so vulnerable and honest. And will people look at me differently when they find this out, or when they know this about me? Are people going to treat me differently? So I guess there's that kind of slight, I don't know, I get a little bit scared deep down about it, but ultimately it's empowering, I think, to share my truth and hopefully help others too. I went to New Zealand with nothing but a bunch of iPhone demos. So all these songs were iPhone demos. I wrote them all on my own in my bedroom. And then I went to Neil Finn's studio and I worked. He wasn't even meant to fully be on this record. So I was going to work with Stephen Schramm, who was working with Crowded House at the time. And then Neil also, his studio, so he owns it. And then he just came down like second day in and he's like, oh, what's this? Just Neil Finn casually walking in, and he started listening to it, and he's like, and he just picked up a bass, and he's like, what can I do? And I'm like, everything. From that day, he came in every day for 3 weeks, and we ended up, me, Stephen, and Neil made this record together. We built the iPhone demos from the ground up, and me and Neil played everything on the record. We got a drummer in for 2 days. A lot of stuff was tracked live, and we were just going with emotions. And where I don't know, we would play the song, and then it would just be like, you know, Neil would be like, "Oh, it needs this," and then I'd be, I'm on a guitar, and I'd be like, "It needs this," and we kind of were just running around and giving the song the exact treatment it needed for each one. We created this album. It just kind of happened, and it all. Is cohesive and all. I don't know, I think it was really important to do it all, just this record in particular, just do it in the one space, in just this, 3-week period, so it all sonically sounds the same and all the feelings and emotions are there. And that's kind of the vibe. Funnily enough, the whole album starts with the iPhone demo. So there was, and there's actually 2 songs. The first song and I'm Alright, they're iPhone demos. I wanted to keep that. And you'll hear in the record there are a lot of soundscapes and noises that I've just recorded. I wanted to keep that, like you're in my room with me, and in a sense of how they've evolved. I don't know, it's kind of, they're just an extension of what I already wrote. So it's just kind of, it's like, I don't know, it's like it was a little worm, and then it turned into a little butterfly, and then it just grew some wings, They came out of the cocoon, and essentially it's still the same thing though, which it was something really important to me. I didn't want to lose the emotion of each song, or it kind of get really taken into all these different directions. The core of it is, I still feel like it's the iPhone demo emotion with butterfly wings. I still get emotional listening to it. Yeah, I think because, again, I touch on some really heavy shit, and so when I listen to it, sometimes I go back to those kind of darker places, but then I look at where I am now, and I just feel really proud of the work that I did on myself to get to this place. Yeah, I think you know what it's like for me when I listen to it, and now from when I recorded it, it's like going back and reading your diary entries from like a few months ago or a year ago, and you can see how far you've come, and I think that's really, it's beautiful. So it's emotional, and now I might cry. I have one guy that I've worked with, Sean McDonald, from the beginning of this record. He's done my photos and on all the videos, and we really work closely together. I've never been so in control of visual stuff, but I really wanted the visuals to match the songs. I wanted everything to align, and I wanted the visuals to also people feel as much as when they watch it as when they listen to it. Seeing and hearing it all just to feel emotional. There's some like transactional deal clip. I remember I came up with that concept, and then on the shoot day I'm like, oh shit, I have to be the person in it. And that was, it was really confronting. I've never been so vulnerable in a clip before and exposed myself so much, but there was a message I really wanted to get out about how these days with dating apps and stuff like that, I think people, feel like transactions, and they don't get treated like human beings, or there's this lack of respect for each other. And so the clip for that is kind of just embodying that of almost what a one night stand essentially might look like to people. And so, yeah, I guess visually I'm really thinking about the song, and I want it all to just, match up. Oh man, I think Rock Bottom for me, that is the most personal song I've ever written, hands down. I think it gives insight to things I've really struggled with but also overcome. And then I think I'll Do What It Takes to Get Me Right. That song again is just it's almost like an extension of Rock Bottom. I'm now on this kind of recovery journey, and I might get knocked down, but it's not going to stop me. And I think third would be I'm Alright. Yeah, that one is, again, it's just about all the things in life that happen to us, good, bad. It makes you who you are today, and it's going to be all right. And so I think those three feel the most soul-wrenching, and hopefully they will also wrench someone else's soul. Is that a word? Wrench? It is, right? I'm questioning myself. There's so many lines that mean so much. It's really hard. I think with Transactional Deal, I remember when Neil Finn, he listened to that and he's like, whoa, it's like I'm reading your diary, and at times I shouldn't be, but I think that's so important. I think this is really important for people to hear the context of things in such an earnest way. Like there's a line, I know that you're not listening, you're just thinking with your dick. It's quite literal. Yeah, in terms of my favorite, there's a line that in I'm Alright that hits me. I went through a lot of rough stuff. I just said, no one really gives a shit if I'm sober or I am lit. I think they're just relieved that I'm not dead. It's like that's a heavy thing to say, but it also when I sing it hits. I learned that I'm a lot more capable than I think I am. Working with Neil and Stephen on this record, they really pushed me, because sometimes I doubt my capabilities. As a writer, I went in on my own to New Zealand with these songs, and I was like, I don't even know if these are good enough, and so to have someone like Neil comment on my songwriting was, it's nice that we need validation, and even just my musical abilities, they really pushed me. And I played guitar and I played bass. Damn, I even played like some drums on this record. I was kind of, and I didn't know I could. So I think biggest thing is I've learned that I'm a lot more capable than I think I am. For this record, I really want everything to be played. I want to have all the elements that are on the record, and I want that really live sense. Yeah, and I think it'll be pretty easy to embody the same emotion that's on the record as well. I think everything was so delicately played, and so I think live, it's just, I think everyone's just gonna, there's not too much going on, so I think everyone will just play their part and hopefully it all comes together. The live aspect is so important to me, I think. Well, because you make the art and you make the music, and then when you actually go out and play it to a crowd, it's when you really feel that connection, that human interaction. It's like this giving, receiving, seeing people's faces when you're singing the songs, or they're singing the songs back to you. It's this energy, it's this exchange of energies, and there's nothing quite like it. It's beautiful, and it's just community coming together, I think it's at a good place from my perspective. I think there's so many incredible artists and bands coming up, and I think also people are getting creative with where they're playing, which I think is really cool, like seeing stuff like that, then people aren't just doing the classic kind of venues. People are kind of creating their own worlds and spaces, and I think that's really cool. I think we're in a good place. Kids are all right.
Charlie's going to let us know 5 artists that we should be listening to.
Okay, number 1, you should be listening to Ben Swisser. I think he's such a talented artist and shreds like no other. Number 2, Carla Wiebe, one of my favorite songwriters. She's just an incredible artist and makes incredible music. Number 3, Tyne James. I think, again, really authentic, incredible songwriter, sings from the heart, and just adore him. Where am I up to? Number 4, Angie McMahon. It's such an inspirational artist to me, and songwriter, and just wow. And Mumbo, number 5, Brad Cox. Country music is my favorite genre in the world, and I think no one's doing it like Coxie. So that's my top 5.